That's like Sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the quasi judicial hearing for the development plan review for 7 Harbor Drive North. This is a continuation from the past meeting. Somebody gives background.
Morning, Chair, board members, Corey O'Gorman, Town Planner. This is reconsideration of the development plan review for 7 Harbor Drive North. At your meeting last month, based on the presentation by the applicant and discussion of the board, there were several items that the board requested that the applicant consider and come back to the board at this meeting. They're listed in the staff report. And include the drainage issues to ensure that there's not runoff to neighboring property, how air conditioning units would be adequately screened from view, that the graphic be provided showing the proposed house in relationship to other homes in the neighborhood, and that the applicant consider adding some contrast on the building elevations to address the stark appearance. Staff recommendation is for the board to consider the presentation by the applicant, which will follow, and approve with condition or disapprove based on your consideration.
Thank you. Because this is a quasi judicial hearing, our town attorney will swear in those people that intend to speak on the matter.
Actually,
Our
I'll
clerk
handle
will do
that.
Okay, who wants to do it?
Do we want to do any ex parte first?
We'll do both. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Is there any ex parte?
Any expertise from anybody talk to any of the applicants?
None, Mr. Chairman.
Anything you'd like to report? Okay.
Okay. Will anyone wishing to speak on this item, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? When you are called forward, please state your name and address clearly for the record and whether or not you've been sworn in, and please speak directly into the microphone.
Okay. We hear from the applicant, please.
Yes, good morning. We represent, my name is Jose Henriquez. I'm an architect and represent the others. Yeah, for the job.
No, for your address.
My address is 841 Wallace Street, Coral Gables, Florida 33134.
Good morning. My name is Juan Manuel Munoz. I represent the general contractor, and my address is 2321 Laguna Circle, Miami, Florida.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to add to the presentation? Would you like to give a presentation?
Yeah, we came prepared. We answering all the questions that was brought to the attention of the board last time. We can start with the drainage on the site. We can present the drawings.
Sure.
Kelly, would it be possible to go to the slide where the drainage is shown? Now the renders are properly displayed. Last time they were kind of enlarged.
Yeah. Okay. As you can see now, we pointed out all the catch basin in the inside of the property, showing the direction of the water and catching all the water within the property throughout pipes and a French drain system. You can see the line. Before it was the same system, but the arrow where pointed out where it's gonna be the water was to be catch. So now you can see we create some little ponds that are directed to the French drain and retain the water within the property. If there is any questions regarding the
Well, last time we talked about a berm being on the side. Is that not in the plan now? Is it just the way it's presented, or? I see a hedge.
You mean
that
for
I saw on your-
for the drainage?
Yeah, well, between the neighboring lot to the west
Mhm.
and the property, there was discussion, there was a berm there last time. Is that
Well,
part of this
the,
plan?
the berm was for the air conditioning, what I believe. It was created, it's in the drawings.
Okay, so it's still here?
It's there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So the next question was regarding the screening, the air conditioning, and raising it with the berm. We're screening with the hedges around it. You can see it in the renderings. Which number? You see the rendering is hiding all the air conditioning units. So the question was answered. And the next one is regarding the appearance, the look of the house regarding the neighborhood. We had a street escape elevation. So I would say it matched roof pitches, it matched the appearance of the house, but better. And it matched also the street that is behind it. They have several houses with the same look in the front elevation. So I don't think it will be any problem building this house regarding the appearance, how it looks, because it matches all the properties. So basically, that was the question.
Yeah, that was.
Now we have a better look of how the house is gonna look with the renderings.
Is there any questions regarding the?
Is that it with your presentation?
That's it, yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're addressing all the points that were brought.
Before
Yes.
we presented, but that was the questions that was raised.
Questions for the applicant?
Corey, those the window penetrations satisfy the town ordinance of,
The prior version did. I have not compared this to the prior version. If the window openings and doors are the same.
Yeah, we have not changed anything in the design. Truly what we did is, the comment was that the house was too stark. So what we did is we bettered the renders in a format that wouldn't be enlarged, because I believe last time
It
the
printed poorly.
way where they were displayed
Yeah.
didn't give justice to the house itself. So we did it in a format that wouldn't damage the image. The house has not changed in its design whatsoever. All we touched was drainage and air conditioning screening, and showed a comparison with the street view so that we all know it's in accordance to the local architecture.
Anything else? Any other questions? Any other staff comments? None? Are the owners here? Come on up. Welcome to the town.
Thank you.
Right.
Anything
Appreciate
you'd
it.
like to add?
Well, this is my wife Paulette Agolia. I'm John Agolia. Yep. We have been in the process of developing this the spot for our home since 2023. Purchased the old home. We found that with the FEMA requirements and the town setbacks, we were, compelled to do the build. So not Daniel. Went through a period of planning. It took us a while, personal issues, everything else. But, we made a substantial investment here. And I think everything we've done is in consideration of the neighbors. The layout of the home on the lot, I think is noteworthy because we stayed well within the setbacks. We've actually have the house like pushed back a little bit from the front line, so it doesn't really pose itself. It's a big structure at the street, and it really isn't a big home. It's only about 2,500 square feet plus the garage, so we're really in the mid-range of the homes that are there. And I think together, I think we've done a good job with it. I hope you guys feel the same way and get going. Since January, we've actually tried to get into these meetings so that we can eventually move on. So we're kind of really ready to go.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions for the owner? Thank you. Thank you for your investment in the town. At this time, any public comment? Okay, hearing no public comment, I'll address it back to the commission. Any comments from the commission?
No comments.
No.
Comments, okay, good. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve with no conditions.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been,
Sorry.
he just swore out.
So competitive.
It's moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Congratulations. Welcome to the town again. Okay. Give you a chance to leave if you wish. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good luck. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the renewal of 5920 North Ocean Boulevard. Yeah, want to give us background?
Chair, board members, Corey O'Gorman, Town Planner. This is a reconsideration of the renewal that was on your agenda last month. The renewal was for the prior approval that was granted back in September of 2024. The board discussed this at the last meeting, and because there was a permit application already submitted, the board wanted to see the permit set of drawings and postpone the consideration of the resubmittal until this meeting. As you'll see in the staff report, based on the review of the permit set of drawings in relationship to the prior approval, there were several changes to the floor plan, the interior design, which then presumably caused some changes to the exterior windows and doors. There was also a change to the overall building height that exceeds the maximum allowable by town code. So the plans that were submitted for permit also didn't include some detailing that's really necessary in order to consider compliance with the window and door opening requirement, the substantial articulation requirement, as well as the floor area ratio overall, and the relationship between the second floor and the first floor. The staff recommends tabling of this item to give an opportunity to work with the owner and the applicant to be sure that all these items are in compliance and that the overall height, of course, is within the town code requirements. I'm happy to answer any questions, and that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Is the applicant here?
Can we swear in, please?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
No. Is there any ex parte before I swear in?
Any ex parte from us? Anybody talk to
None.
anybody? Okay, thanks. Go ahead.
Will anyone wishing to speak on this item, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? When you are called forward, please state your name and address clearly for the record and whether or not you've been sworn in, and please speak directly into the microphone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Joseph Asir, homeowner, 5920 North Ocean Boulevard. Well, this was approved as he pointed out in September of 2024, and we got delayed in submitting the permits, and that's the reason we're back to the commission. At the last hearing, we were told to submit whatever architectural plans we had submitted for building, and we did that. My assumption was that all this would be dealt with during the permitting process, not in front of the planning commission. And I'm a little curious as to that. I'm thinking we could have dealt with this in the building permitting process, correct?
You can address the chair.
Oh.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sorry.
Sorry.
So that was my assumption. I mean, we complied with whatever the commission wanted us to do at our last hearing, and we submitted the architectural plans.
Okay. So you heard from the staff already, and there's recommendations to table it to give you the opportunity to go back. We can bring it back time certain June. And then that'll give you the opportunity to go back and address these concerns with the staff before it comes before us. You have any problem with that?
We don't have a problem, but the staff could have reached out to us during this month and we would have complied with whatever was done. So now we are set back by another month, and already, we've been at this for quite a long time.
Yeah, I understand.
And again, we're happy to comply with whatever the code is.
Okay.
And we're happy to do it during the building process, if you would allow that.
Okay, thank you. Any other staff comments?
Good morning, Orlando Rubio, Town Engineer, Craig A. Smith and Associates, 1425 East Newport Center Drive, Deerfield Beach. The applicant, last time he was here, they switched civil engineers. And I made contact with their current civil engineers from our last board meeting. Some of my comments, they did revise the drainage system. They removed the retention area on the east side and replaced it with exfiltration trench. And then their calculations showed they met criteria. We just need to just review that further during the building permit process with their submittal of their geotechnical report supporting their hydraulic conductivity tests. But they've complied with the civil comments.
Okay, so there's some issues still outstanding. Anybody else? Any other? You good for the now? Okay. Any public comment on this before the board addresses it? Hearing none, we'll bring it back to the board. We have a recommendation from the staff to table this, to give them an opportunity to work through it. I think that seems like a very reasonable suggestion. And hopefully within next month, you can bring it back. We can table this to a date certain to come back for the next June meeting, if that's what the commission prefers. Or you can approve and deny or do whatever you like to do. So it's within the province of the commission. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I agree with that direction. I wanted to make sure that Member Siggety was comfortable with the window design, because they were irregular on the last plans we saw. I don't have the plan that we had from last meeting, but there's arches, there's square, there's cathedral, there's a lot of different things. And I just wanted to make sure if we would offer that comment as part of coming back to us, if that's something you wanted, or if this is okay.
I mean, I think it's part of the design, and we're not going to redesign the house. But I mean, my preference would be a more consistent look for the penetrations, but I think it's part of their design.
I make a motion to approve our resubmittal based upon the items town planner wishes to see.
So so is your motion to continue this to the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay. So there's a motion on the floor to continue it to the next meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you. See you in June. Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is again another quasi judicial hearing, site plan review for 6849 North Ocean Boulevard. Corey, you want to give a little brief introduction as to it?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Chair, board members, Corey O'Gorman, Town Planner. This is a major site plan review and construction east of the Coastal Construction Control Line review for the property at 6849 North Ocean Boulevard, the Ocean Club. This site plan review to permit construction of a new clubhouse, including modifications to the existing pool cabana structures, redesigned parking lot and site access improvements. The development also includes provision for valet parking and temporary facilities during construction so that the club can remain open during the construction period. The proposed site plan includes demolition and reconstruction of the clubhouse building, parking and site improvements, temporary clubhouse on the east lawn. The temporary clubhouse will include valet service for guests, and the pool and bar pavilion would continue to operate during construction. Details of the new construction and temporary facilities are in the applicant narrative. The narrative provided by Insight Studios describes that the current club currently accommodates 192 seats. The proposed club would reduce that to a total of 180 seats for parking calculation purposes. So the application includes not only the site plan for the Ocean Club, but also provides a parking plan showing parking on the property to the east through a unity of title, parking to the west on the west side of A1A, at the tennis courts, which is part of the project. Pardon me, the staff review also considered all of the zoning requirements for the RMM district, the lot area, the property size, the setbacks, all of which is outlined in the staff report. The site plan complies with all those requirements as well as the parking requirement. The site plan also includes review of landscape codes. The landscape plan includes tabular data, which itemizes the required plantings and landscape areas. And the site plan complies with the town code for landscaping. Regarding coastal construction and the installation of temporary facilities, the narrative describes that the tent will be proposed on the existing lawn area seaward of the coastal construction setback line, and how those temporary facilities comply with section 6718 so that they don't disturb any of the dune area, and is located on an existing lawn area. So there's no destruction or issues with the dune as proposed. There's also a portion of the proposed building that's seaward of the 1997 coastal construction line, regulated under 6717. And the design complies with the requirements of that code section as well. Based on a review of the site plan, the landscape plan, the parking plan, staff recommendation is for approval, subject to your review. And I'm here to try to answer any questions, and would turn over to the applicant for their presentation as well.
Okay, thank you. Before we get going, I'm going to address something that's in the room. This is the Ocean Club of Florida, and there's a few of us up on the dais here that are members of that club. And so to address that, we've gotten an opinion from the town attorney, and she'd like to elaborate on it further, she can. But it's been as long as we are just a member and not on the board on any committees, and not otherwise participating in the governing function of the board or of the club, that we are permitted to sit up there. Anything you'd like to add? All right, thank you. Given that, at this time, we should address the expo. I feel I see a lot of people in the audience. A lot of them are my friends. I kind of feel like the Godfather movie, you know, when they had the brother testifying and the brother from Sicily comes in. But we're not going to feel pressured by that at all. But I'll start out with if there is any objection to us sitting up here as a board member or as on the planning and zoning, the fact that we are a member of the club. If there's any objection, please come forward, just say it and that's fine. And then we'll deal with it. Is there any objection to us sitting up here? Okay, asking the public for that objection. They're hearing none. So in compliance with that, we'll proceed with the meeting. At this time, we'll address any ex parte communication. And I'll start with myself. I did have ex parte communication. They did invite me in to see the presentation, and previous to that, as a member of the Ocean Club, I saw the presentations and saw the what they were doing along the way as they noticed everybody else in the public. When after the vote took place, I got a phone call from the president, who was now the president of the club, Craig Whiting, who invited me to sit with the architects and I believe the engineers. I can't remember who else was there to give the presentation. I understand that they may have asked other members of the planning and zoning. That is not necessarily uncommon, that we don't get a phone call from an applicant and want to address their concern. At that meeting, I gave whatever input I have, which wasn't much, quite frankly, but listened to what they were planning. Subsequent to that, I got a phone call maybe Monday of this week or Friday last week, maybe, from the architect, and want to know if I had any questions, which I did not have. And that was the extent of my, besides that, and hearing from different members, extolling the virtues of the plan, I've heard that just being around the club. So none of that, I will tell you, none of that, and I've been involved in this town for a long time and have friends here, none of that has influenced my decision in any way, and I can make an objective decision. Or I should say objective review and recommendation. We are not a final determinative body. We are a reviewing board. We are an advisory board. So that's the extent of my my contacts. Anybody else?
I'm also a member of the Ocean Club. I've been attending the meetings from the Ocean Club for the review of the various plans for the club. I did have a meeting with Craig Whiting early in this process to talk about the plans for the Ocean Club, but nothing from.
I too am a member of the Ocean Club, and I did speak with Craig Whiting a couple of weeks ago in conversation, and just asked him if he included the temporary facilities as part of his application, and he said he did, and that was pretty much the conversation. So that's all I have.
I too am a member of the Ocean Club. I have been to the meetings to see the plans, and I have had no subsequent contact with any of the board members, and so therefore I feel objective and review today.
I am not a member of this.
We'll send you an application.
All joking aside, you have no objection, you have no problem in reviewing this.
I do not.
I have no problem
Okay,
objectively reviewing the application of the Ocean
Okay,
Club in front of
thank
the
you.
planning and zoning board.
thank you. Given that, I'll give you one more opportunity. Is there any public objection? Given the fact that 4 of us are members of the Ocean Club, is there any objection to that by the public? Hearing none, I'll turn it over to Kelly to swear in.
Will anyone
That's
wishing
it.
to speak on this item, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? When you are called forward, please state your name and address clearly for the record and whether or not you've been sworn in, and please speak directly into the microphone.
All right, thank you. We hear from the applicant, please.
Good morning, board. Brian Donahue with Insight Studio, 3601 PGA Boulevard in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. We are the land planners and landscape architects. Has been working with the Ocean Club for, geez, the last year to get to this point. So we're excited to be here today. So we're here to request a major site plan approval to allow a new two-story clubhouse. We're going to modify the existing pool cabanas, redesign the parking lot and access to the site. For orientation purposes on the screen, the club site is highlighted in yellow. Just across the street on the west side is the tennis and marina site. No modifications really proposed, just some of the temporary facility uses will be located over there, primarily parking during the temporary operations of the club during construction. And then you can see the new condo development site highlighted to the north. It's important to point out that we were here about 2 years ago, I believe it was, for approval of that condo development. And at that time, there was a unity of control approved, which allowed some flexible development regulations, primarily with the setback between the two parcels. The site's located in the RHM high density multifamily residential district. So a club is a allowed use within this zoning designation. So a little bit of history quickly on the site. The club was built over 60 years ago, 1962. Since that time, there have been some renovations. A lot of you obviously know, you're members of the club. The pool was rebuilt 7 or 8 years ago now. After, in 2023, the club hired some professionals and a team to come together to kind of look at feasibility of the club and the future use. And it was determined that potentially a new clubhouse was the best path forward based on the needs of the club. So in 2026, earlier this year, the project did go to a vote, and that vote received 88% approval, which is a significant, support for the project. 84% of the members voted. We do a lot of work for clubs to get that many members to come out and vote is amazing. So obviously very, very much unanimous support for the project. Some existing condition photos, top left on the screen there shows a condition that I want to speak about a little bit in detail further in the presentation, but that's the entrance into the club. It's one way coming up a hill there. It's also the entrance to the Muse condo to the south. That's a shared access that's actually being modified so that each will now have separate access points. The turning maneuver and the access point for the Muse stays in the same location. The access to Ocean Club moves slightly to the north, which allows a little better access and flow. And instead of it being one way in, it becomes two way at that point. There's some graphics and site plans that show that in more detail. The next picture, top right, is just an existing view looking straight up at the clubhouse from the street. So showing there's existing screening and vegetation there. And then further down to the west, that's the access point that actually comes into the condo site that, again, I mentioned is a shared through the unity of control process. And then the bottom right is looking across the street to the tennis facility. So this is the proposed site plan. Just for kind of ease of walking through this, we'll start from east to west, and most of you are already familiar with what's going on, but everything pretty much on the east side of the site. So the kids pool, the existing bar pavilion, the open lawn area, all of that stays as is. The existing cabanas that are shown there are being modified slightly. They're actually, when the new clubhouse is built, the western end of the cabanas has to be chopped off and a new stair has to be added for accessibility purposes. That will be done early in the process so that when the cabanas open up during construction, there will still be accessibility to the second floor there. So that's really the modifications for everything east is really just the cabanas. And then from the eastern edge of the clubhouse over, pretty much everything has been rebuilt. So new clubhouse, new service and loading area, the valet drop-off area has been redesigned, and the parking lot has been redesigned. So starting with the parking there, just wanted to point out that access point we discussed earlier. If you can see, the bottom left of the screen shows the new access point coming into the Muse there. So again, it's in the same location basically, but now it's separated by green space. North of that green space is now the new access point into the club parcel. Two-way access coming in, and then the access, the driveway that goes north-south further west on the site is two-way. And then you have two-way access all the way up to the service area. And then up to the handicap spaces, and then you continue one way through the valet drop-off area. There's pedestrian access now proposed to meet accessibility requirements from getting across the street. So we've been to FDOT. We have pre-approval from FDOT for the location of this access point. And one of the conversations was pedestrian access across the right-of-way. We looked at opportunities to move that crosswalk further south, and they liked it more mid-block where it is today instead of being closer to the traffic intersection. So it's going to stay there, and a new ADA ramp is being proposed in the right-of-way. Again, there's pre-approval from FDOT. We'll go through final approvals when we get into permitting. But that access point will actually, it'll be a ramp out in the right of way. You can see the path that then continues across the parking lot and then up to the front door of the clubhouse. We explored keeping it up closer to the north where the crosswalk is in the right of way. The problem is the grades are a challenge there, so you can't make the 5% or less slope work. So we had to push it a little bit further south to accommodate the grades. There's an existing stair in that location where the crosswalk is today. We originally were proposing to remove that after meeting with Mr. Khalil, as we talked about. He saw the presentation, had some good feedback for us. It's something that we're now exploring, is keeping that existing stair. If you can flip to the next slide, Kelly. One more. A couple more, I'm sorry. There's the picture I was looking for. So that's the stair on the right side of the screen that's there today. There's a sidewalk that connects out to the crosswalk. And then across on the other side of the street, there's an existing sidewalk connection to the sidewalk that then has a stepping stone pathway into the parking lot there. So we're proposing at this point to maintain those existing stairs and that existing connection. And now if you flip back, Kelly, to the site plan. One more. What that'll do is give the opportunity. So if anyone were to park or, in the northern half of the tennis courts, there's a more direct route across the street there. So they don't have to walk all the way to the south. But from my understanding, most people are not parking on that side of the street and walking across. So we don't see this being a maneuver that's done very often, but now we have two options. Here's the more detailed site plan. Again, I put this in the presentation if we have questions on dimensions or more details, but probably a little hard to read from where you guys are. And then this is the circulation. We actually just kind of talked about this. So the green arrows show the circulation. Again, the western green line shows two-way circulation through the site. And then the one more to the east shows the circulation for the valet. And then the red route shows the pedestrian circulation. And that is, again, that's an accessible route from the other side of the street up to the front door of the new clubhouse. As I mentioned, the two parcels were unified through a unity of control a couple of years ago, which allows for that setback between the two properties to be waived essentially. So just wanted to point that out, that unity of control does allow for the building to be placed where it is. From a parking standpoint, based on the requirements, we have 180 seats in the club. You're required 3 spaces per seat, so that's 60 spaces, and then 1 per employee with 25 employees. So we're at a requirement of 85 spaces, proposing 96 spaces. That does include 43 on the clubhouse site, 12, and then the shared access and parking easement on the north condo site, and then 41 on the tennis parcel. These are the architectural renderings. I'll talk very quickly about the landscaping. I'm the landscape architect for the project, and I'll let Isaac Campos with Peacock and Lewis speak on the architecture. From a landscaping standpoint, out front, we're proposing a Clusia hedge that, as you can see, will shield off the parking lot there. This depicts it pretty early on after it's planted, but it will continue to grow to screen off the parking lot with some Christmas palms there. Nice kind of pedestrian scale palm for the parking lot. And then if you flip to the next slide, Kelly, this shows that we've got some Alexander palms along the foundation of the building. Then as you step down from that, we got a silver buttonwood hedge and some green island ficus, a couple other colorful shrubs there. All very, native salt, or a lot of natives, not all natives, and salt tolerant plant palette that's appropriate for this location. Coming back at the valet area, you see some bougainvillea for some color. We've got some silver buttonwood trees as our accent trees in the parking lot for the parking lot island trees with dwarf oleander and green island ficus. And then the next slide is just the back of the clubhouse. None of the landscaping is really changing here. If anything's damaged during construction for any reason, it would be restored, but this will primarily stay the same. And then I'll invite Isaac Campos with Peacock and Lewis to come up and speak to the architectural design of the building. If you can flip back, Kelly, maybe to the first. Yeah, one more. Yeah.
Isaac Campos with Peacock and Lewis Architects, 1295 US Highway 1, North Palm Beach, Florida. I have been sworn in. So the architecture here is it's a blend of what could best be defined as island classical and Bermuda colonial. Very simple palette of materials with the classic white stucco, a flat concrete tile roof that simulates the shake style roof, the wooden shake style roof, concrete tile for longevity in this climate. And then with all of the details in here, the column detailing, the window detailing, the articulation of the shutters, all of that is inspired from that Island Classical and Bermuda Colonial style. Again, a very simple palette of materials, that white with just a very subtle accent color of that blue that is kind of a reference to sky and sea. Muntins on the windows to preserve that classic style architecture. The louvered panels at the balcony areas, you can see that more on the rear elevation, or if you could go to the next slide. You can see that runs all the way across, provided along that patio that allows diners to be out and just facing towards the ocean and really enjoying that space there. So we have a primary volume, and then the wings of the building come off as secondary volumes, pretty classical forms for this kind of an architecture. Any questions? Or are we doing that later? Okay. So these are the elevations that show what those all sides of the building look like. You're seeing the north and the east side. The east side is the side that faces the pool. You can see again a lot of glazing on that exterior terrace so that we bring in those beautiful views towards the dining and the lounge areas. That north side, that is the side that is on the shared access between this property and the condo building to the north. We're complying with the requirements for glazing in this, or for openings in this area. Most of those are utilitarian openings on that lower level. They access the pool equipment room, the laundry, maintenance. Above are some windows that allow additional natural light into the lounge and bar area. Next slide. And then here we see the west, which is the front elevation. Again, creating those classical forms with the very simple palette of materials. Very residential in its scale, with the exception of that porte-cochere, which is a necessity for the club. And then on that south side, that is the smallest side. That is where the loading dock is. Again, openings there, mostly utilitarian, as those are the kitchen areas that are servicing the dining areas. Next slide.
This is just an excerpt from the preliminary engineering plan that was provided as part of the submittal. It was reviewed and approved by the town engineer. In conclusion there's just a quick, bullet point there that basically states that it meets the requirements of the engineering regulations from the town. But primarily the drainage is captured in the parking lot. There's an exfiltration trench on the west edge of that parking lot there that holds the water as required. Eric Cooper, the civil engineer on the project, is in the audience if you guys have specific questions. And then the FDOT pre-approval letter, we already discussed that, but we went to them back in December, reviewed the proposed design, the relocated access point, the accessibility route. We have pre-approval for that as well. Temporary facilities. So I wanted to talk a bit about this. For starters, I would say if you look at everything east, there's kind of a red line that almost bisects the parcel there. East of that is going to be member area. So the pool, the kiddie pool, and then you can see the labels for the member restroom, the kitchen, and the dining tent. All of those facilities are going to be placed in areas that are already previously developed. So while they are east of the coastal construction setback line, as Corey mentioned, there won't be any impacts to native ecology, native dune vegetation, the native dune in itself. It's already developed land. So that is kind of the program for what happens east of that line. That red wall will be a solid construction wall that's going to be built there to provide a safe area to separate the construction activities from member activities. And then going out to the west portion of the site, in blue, you can see a circular shape on the bottom of the screen. That's going to be the valet drop-off area. We've done some engineering exhibits that show that that'll hold about 15 to 20 cars if it really gets busy. But with that big loop there, you can actually double stack cars in that loop. There's a valet kiosk there, so it'll be 100% valet. And then the purple route on the bottom side of the slide there will be a covered walkway for member access. That's going to be built almost like what's out front of the town hall now with the scaffolding, and they're going to actually wall that off and cover it as well. So that it's fully enclosed and covered and protected from the construction activities. The yellow area, which is going to become the main parking lot for the club, will be the construction staging area. So fortunately, we're rebuilding the entire parking lot. None of that's being used. So we have a large construction staging area. And then you do have two construction access points. One will go to the north to the condo site, and then the other one would go out to the right of way there. So that's generally a general summary. On the west side of the property, there will be valet only parking. So that's where the valet is going to take the cars. There's also going to be off-site parking provided at a church just north for employee parking. One of the other things we're exploring is, to get additional cars parking on one of the tennis courts. I don't have a slide specifically. We can pull it up if we need to. But if we park on a tennis court, we get about 26 parking spaces. This was another thing that we discussed with Mr. Khalil about other opportunities, because as we looked at the west parking lot there that you can see on the far side of the screen, if we do angled parking there and a one-way drive aisle, we could potentially not tear up the tennis court. So we're still exploring that idea, but based on our initial drawings and diagrams, we think we'd only net about 10 spaces there. And if we take over one of the tennis courts, we net about 26 spaces. So we think we need the 26 spaces. Obviously, I think the club would love to save the money on tearing up a court and replacing it if possible. So we're going to continue to explore that as we move into permitting. But right now, I think we're going to probably stay with taking over the tennis court. Next slide. And this is just an excerpt from the staff report, but all comments have been addressed and staff does recommend approval of the project. So that concludes our presentation. Open it up for questions.
Good. Any questions right now or want to wait? Wait, okay,
Thank you.
thank you. You have anything else to present or are you done?
That was it.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Good job. Any staff comments? Any more staff comments? You don't have to unless you want to. Oh, don't feel compelled.
Well, I'm up already.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Orlando Rubio, town engineer. So yes, we met with the applicant. So the site does have sufficient drainage information for calculations, geotechnical data, and revised plans. We submitted for this review to allow the project to move forward. Civil plans will be finalized at the time of building. The utility approvals for the proposed water and sewer systems will be required upon final design, and then clarify if lift station is to be privately owned. I believe that's privately owned. I think that was clarified. Then additional comments may be forthcoming during the building permit.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I do want to point out one thing that what the Planning and Zoning Commission is doing is making a recommendation to the Town Commission for the major development site plan. The temporary facilities are really not within the purview of the Planning and Zoning Commission. So while I appreciate the showing what the plan is, that really would be something that once this moves through the process of planning and zoning recommendation to town commission approval, if that happens, then the temporary facilities will be an issue that will have to be determined by staff, because we really don't have a provision in our code that addresses temporary facilities at this point.
So I think everyone understands that it's not within our province to talk about the temporary facilities. It's really an enforcement and a staff issue later on, as well as some other issues that might be that we're entertaining today. But so for purposes of the audience, if you look at the what the staff report is, it kind of gives the criteria of what is within our purview. And it's really a design review, a layout review, the assimilation to the surrounding neighborhoods and to the overall town as a whole. So it's a very finite level of review. And again, it's only a recommendation. Although we feel it's a strong recommendation, but it's still a recommendation one way or the other to the town commission and to the town staff. So given that, at this time, we will open it up to public comment. State your name and come forward, state your name and address for the record.
Terry Brown, Harbor Drive South.
Surprise.
Yeah, it took me a while to get up here from that seat. I'm glad to see the ADA ramp there. We had talked about that and the stairs. So someone using that ramp can get into the main entrance. So I'm happy about that. I know it doesn't matter to you, but I'm happy.
No, it does matter. Go ahead.
The other thing I wanted to be sure, since Christie brought it up, that any of the temporary structures do not encroach beyond the property line past the dune where the property line now is. That would be something that DEP would have to approve. Any encroachment, I know it shows it as an open lawn area. But that is real critical because you need the protection of the dune and the dune plants, because we're going to get a hurricane and we could get a big surge and it could wipe out a lot of the project. The other thing is, which I'm going to mention, both these projects are going to go on at the same time in tandem. Is that the way I understand it?
Is that a question?
Yeah.
Well, right now it's only this one. We
Okay,
approved
just-
the other one, but it's only
Okay,
this one
so
that's,
there's two
who knows
distinct-
what's going to happen to the north property.
Funding sources. Each group will have their sufficient funds to complete the project, and the town will require bonds for each. So since these are big projects, there'll be a lot of requirement to protect the town's interest, because we don't want to pay Christie any more than what she needs to get paid for. If there's a stall, someone sues someone and the construction stops, who's going to be responsible for that? Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments?
Mr. Chair, I just want to add that the town will not be requiring a bond. The bonding would be up to the property owners.
I just wanted to state that we just handed out a letter of support to you that will be in the record. I can read it publicly if you'd like, or you can just read it.
It's noted in the record. It's in support of the plan, and unless you'd like to read publicly. Thank you. Go ahead, board, please.
Good morning. My name is Kim Muley. I'm with the Edwards Companies in 155 East Broad Street, Columbus, Ohio. The Edwards Companies own the property just to the north of the club, 6855 North Ocean Boulevard. I think Brian referred to it as future condominium development. And we have been working with the club for the last almost 3 years, working towards the unity of title, which gives both properties the most efficient redevelopment opportunities, and we're glad to be here to support what the club has presented to you. And we believe it's a good fit for the area, for the site, and works well with our plan. So we're just here to support you and to support them, and thank you.
Thank you. All right, any other public comment?
Clark Perriott, 6880 North Ocean Boulevard, number 13, Ocean Ridge, Florida. I have been sworn in, I think. Good morning. Again, my name is Clark Perriott, and I'm a year-round Ocean Ridge resident in the North Maisonettes, directly across the street from the existing clubhouse. And I support this application because I believe that the project is about more than a clubhouse. It's about the long-term future and the character of our community. The Ocean Club has been a part of Ocean Ridge for decades, and this investment reflects the confidence in our town at a time when many communities struggle to attract thoughtful, long-term private investment. What stands out to me is that this project was designed to fit Ocean Ridge. Understated, residential in character, and with significant landscaping and screening that will improve the appearance from A1A rather than intensify it. I believe this project strengthens the community, supports local economic activity, and helps ensure that the Ocean Club remains a positive part of Ocean Ridge for decades to come. Thank you.
you're free to come up. I'm just curious, since you're in the audience, I'll ask who here, stand up if you're in support of the project. Okay, so we have a number of people here. Let the record reflect that it's showing a number of people that in support of the project, and we thank you. And you're free to come up to give additional comments, but the chair and the board recognizes the support that you're given to the Ocean Club to support the project. So, any other comments that you'd like to make? Any other public comment? Hearing none, close the public comment. It goes back to the board, the commission. Any questions for the applicant? Any comments that you might have? Silence. I want to reflect on what he said about the comment I have, and I still have a comment, and I'm not afraid to say it, and that's in reflection to the ramp. Thank you. And you want to bring that up, Kelly, if you can, take it back to the ramp. And I just want to point this out, and it's not going to dissuade me from doing this, but it's important because a lot of you here have not had the history of the town. And I think it's important that you understand something that went on along that stretch. Yeah, the one with you can see the ramp, how it goes all the way down. That little stretch going from the entrance to the other side. And this is a concern I have. Why? Because we've had over the years several accidents that occur in and out of the Ocean Club and what was the North property. Some very serious accidents. And I'm very concerned about that walkway on that side of the road. I don't know how to address it, quite frankly, and I threw it. Oh, they left. Sorry. I hope Brian was still here. Are you here? Oh, there you are. It's not going to change my view of the project, but it's something that I know, we had a public speaker, Terry, that voiced, and we reflected on that, but that stretch is concerning to me. And I think even through this process, what I would ask you to go back and do is re-examine that. I know that might be the only alternative there is, but I want you to keep in mind of what the history of that little stretch is, of going in and out of the Ocean Club and going, and with the North property. That happened to be a very tumultuous stretch. So I'm just a little bit concerned about that being so close to the right of way, even though it's 5 feet off. Because there's a bend going there, and you can ask the police, and that is the most dangerous part in the town of Ocean Ridge, that going through the S-curve. So please take the time and re-examine that and see if there's an alternate solution. I recognize that it may not be, but I appreciate the keeping of the stairway. And the reason why that I brought that up before is that what is the reality? No one's ever going to use that, quite frankly. I'm a realist. When you can go right down the driveway and cross over, why would you take all that energy and go down there? So by keeping the stairs, it does allow that path to go right from one side to the other like it is now. So I think that's a good suggestion to do. But keep in mind what's in that right away and maybe something else. The other thing I brought up, and I'll bring up again because I don't see it on the landscape plan, and that was on the southernmost portion of the corner of that entrance. You see there's a lot of shrubbery. So the one thing that on either side of the entrances, to make your shrubbery lower so that the line of sight, this was the problem in the past. None of you were here for that, but there was a line of sight. They did the same thing and it blocked the view of the traffic coming down A1A. And that was part of the problem that caused the accidents in that area. So keep that in mind with the shrubbery there, that it doesn't interfere with the line of sight. That is very important. For the southernmost turn in that last parking lot, this is more a situation with the Ocean Club than it is for our purview, but I thought I'd point it out, is that it's you're coming in off of the A1A, and generally people come in fairly quickly because there isn't a slow turn off. So, you know, you have an end parking lot. If they're backing out, that becomes a kind of a dangerous situation. So, the insurance agent for the Ocean Club might be wary, and I see Brendan in the audience, that you may want to address that and make sure the line of sight there is such that it's safe. Those are the things that I brought up and I bring up now to the public during even though this isn't part of our purview to, you know, the temporary facilities, but I think it's important that to note that they did state that the cabanas, nor the pool, nor any of that area is going to be up until till the main building is closed in from a safety standpoint. I think that's important for people to understand. I think that's a very big safety consideration that I had, is that, you know, they can do, you know, who knows what, but I think from a safe standpoint and for the public, I think that's, it's a private club, but for the people participating there, I think that's a good move to make sure that is finished and closed in and roofed before the access to the pool and to the north cabanas. So those were my comments. Other than that, I think I will say that I thought the design was good. I think it keeps in harmony with the community. We're not here to judge the merits. We can have a disagreement, as I've had a friendly, you know, over that opinion, but the club approved it. That's the owner and the board, and it's up to them to determine other merits or other situations. Ours is just to look at what is the impact on the community. I think it's a really good impact on the community.
Won't that safety of A1A be improved by aligning both of the driveways in and out of the Ocean Club? By moving the one north and the one south, they now are aligning with the entrance to the other side. So won't that, because right now both of them are offset.
We don't have the picture of that. Is there a larger blow up of that? Kelly, you want to? Brian, is there another? Show both.
Maybe
both
There's
entrances.
one.
That one, go back,
Go
Kelly.
back.
The black and white one, go back, Kelly, like 3 sides maybe. Yeah, that one
Yeah.
there.
So just
As
show
they line
that
up
where
now.
because by the way, we brought this up when the North property, when the Edwards Company, and we redesigned the traffic flow to make it safer, if you recall. So that was a consideration we had then too.
Right.
Plus there's
that-
traffic calming now with the reduced speed limit along that stretch coming from Manalapan over the bridge. It's 25. So a lot's happened.
I can
since-
tell you
A lot's happened
25
since.
Tell you something. That's been that's been 25 for a long time through that S curve. And there used to be a joke in town. It wasn't a joke. But several years ago, when we'd have somebody speeding through town, the police would say there's no way they're making it through that S curve. And guess what? They didn't. And we've had a lot of accidents right on the beginning of the S curve going over. It's 25, it could be 10. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's certainly better than it was with the alignment now.
Well, no, what's better is that the flow in and out of the north, the way it's being designed is better. But you still have the issue along that right of way. You still have the people coming in and out. It just is. It's just the nature.
So other than that comment, are you good with
I'm
it?
good.
Okay, I'd like I'd make a motion to approve the project. as
Seconded.
submitted.
Moved in second, any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you
Good
very
job,
much.
Brian. Congratulations, Ocean Club. Thank you. Now, if you'd like to stay since you're here for the rest of the meeting. Oh, what? Come on. We're going to be discussing some very important stuff here. Thank you. Give you a minute to leave.
Mr. Chairman, I do want to say the Ocean Club knows how to run a project. They really have crossed
They
their
did a good
T's and
job.
their I's and yeah.
Yeah, they did a good job.
And it's good looking.
and in
Can we have it this-
realigning a lot of people with. Yes.
Walk on.
The puppy can stay though. Oh. Thanks, good job. Bye-bye. All right. Good. Continuing on with the meeting. Commissioner comments? Any comments? None? Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I second.
Not gonna vote with our feet because we have something else to talk. Right? But we have the, didn't I see something else?
Surtax.
Yeah, the infrastructure surtax.
Correct.
Where is that? Here. We'll let Terry leave. You're gonna miss this? You're gonna miss this? Come on. Come on. If it's not, the meeting won't be the same.
You can fix that curve in the road going up.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
I try to get through without hitting any one of the distractors.
That had a lot of deaths there. All right, so at this time, we are gonna call the meeting to order for the Infrastructure Surtax Citizen Oversight Committee. Kelly, want to call the roll, please?
Sure can. Member Gustafson?
Present.
Member Corrala?
Present.
Member DeBaptiste?
Present.
Member Siggety?
Present.
And Vice Chair Khalil?
Present. At this time, we'll have the approval of the minutes from last year. I know you all remember that.
So moved.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? No public comment on that. So, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed, like sign. Next item on the agenda is the, report to the town commission regarding the infrastructure surtax expenditures for fiscal year 25. 254 would be all in trouble. But go ahead. It says fiscal year 254. Anybody who wants to bring it up?
Michelle?
You have to have somebody present it. Briefly.
Why not me, right? Chairman, board members, thank you for the opportunity to come and speak. God bless you. I was gonna say a little early, God bless you. I also want to say thank you for taking the moment of silence before the last meeting for Commissioner Hutchins. That was lovely and caring. What you have in front of you is the updated report for the surtax as the Palm Beach County ordinance requires. So each year, this board is supposed to provide the advice and the report and basically bless it before it goes to the commission. And based on your advice from previous years, these funds are allocated towards all of the infrastructure that's necessary for your water mains.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions? Any public comment? Hearing none, back to the commission. Is there a motion to approve the report and to approve the authorization of the funding for fiscal year 25 of the amount? Oh, it's somewhere, is it? 199.42.
You could just approve
The
the
amount
report.
is reported, the amount.
You could just, yeah, you could just,
You need that allocated, correct?
as outlined in the report will be fine.
Okay. 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 There's a motion on the floor to approve the report and the allocation as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, signify. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. The motion carries. Any other discussion by the commission? If not, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Vote
So
with
moved.
feet. Thanks.
So Kelly, there will be a June meeting.
Correct.
Right.
The only one that we have off is August.
See you in June.
So you said the only one we're not having is August. Yeah, okay. All right, thank you. Good job. Good job, thank you. We have the one and we have the guy coming back. Yeah. We can always move the meeting if need be, if we don't have. What was the date?